Dalia would be last.
When we're going to give it from bottom. We're going to start from bottom today.
As you wish.
So first it's Yash. Yash, start reading. Can you see the screen, everyone?
Ma'am, from what
Yes.
I have to read?
The one that you see on the screen.
Okay. Alice was being to get
Beginning.
very tired
Beginning. Shh. Yash. It's not being, it's beginning.
beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank.
Hmm.
And of having nothing to do once or twice she had. Ma'am, what is that?
Peeped into the book.
Peeped into the book. Her sister was reading, but it had no pictures of conversation in it. And what is the use of a book?
Hmm.
Through Alice
Alice in Wonderland. The name of the book is Alice in Wonderland. You please don't give
Alice
a new pronunciation to it.
without pictures of conversation.
Conversation.
Yeah, conversation.
Hmm.
So she
Continue.
was.
Quickly, read quickly.
So she was considering in her own mind as well as she could of the day mind her feel very sleepy. And ma'am, what is that?
And stupid.
And stupid. Wherever the pleasure,
Whether the
pleasure of making a dizzy chain would be
Daisy. It's Daisy.
Would be worth to trouble of getting up and picking the disease. When suddenly a white rabbit with pink eyes ran slowly by her. There was nothing so very Ma'am, what is that?
Remarkable.
Remarkable in that nor did
Alice.
Okay. Nor did Alice think it so very much out of the way too.
Okay, next. Is
May I ask a question?
Rudra.
Ma'am, sorry, I'm late. Sorry, ma'am.
Ma'am, may I ask you a question, please?
Yes, Migdal.
And
Migdal, yeah.
then why doesn't anybody in 5th grade know the word remarkable?
I have no clue because these people don't read books at home.
Same thing.
And
Even
Ma'am, I read books. And I know
they-
what
Ma'am,
remarkable means.
you think I don't read books about Harry Potter Part 6?
Okay, ma'am. I asked this question. Everybody is saying something. Why does some people don't know some very easy words? I will say some people, not everyone.
That's her problem. Because they don't read books.
just beginning. It was the word beginning.
Ma'am, I read the whole thing till he went to the ha.
This
Yes.
shows that you people don't read at home. You people read only during the reading class. And if there is no reading class kept by the school, you people will not read also. I am damn sure.
Ma'am, I read.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
I
I
have hidden whole Harry
Ma'am, I
Potter.
read whole Heroes of Olympus.
May I read the
Rudra,
next paragraph?
Yes,
no,
ma'am.
no, no. We are going from below to top. So Rudra Jajadia is next, and then is Mikdad, and then is Lakshay. Rudra. Children, do you want me to increase the size of the text?
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am, it's fine.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
है ना? No, it's gone.
Ma'am,
Wait,
just keep the
Ma'am, don't do
It
this.
was perfect.
wait. Let me see. Okay, this is good, no? One sec. Let me try 250.
Hi, Catherine ma'am. Actually, I joined late. I was on the way from tuition to home.
Who's this? Anna?
Ma'am, Arna.
Yes.
Hi, it's okay. We've just started. Okay, now it's better, right? So I'm scrolling it a bit. Okay. Next, Rudra Jajadia. Read the page.
Alice,
Here the rabbit say to itself.
here the rabbit said to itself, oh dear, I shall be too late. But when the rabbit actually took a watch out of
Ma'am, can I
its
leave?
waistcoat pocket and looked at it and then hurried on, Alice started to her feet, or it flashed across her mind that she had never before seen a rabbit with either a waistcoat pocket or a watch to take out of it, and burning with what is this?
Curiosity.
Curiosity. She ran across the field after it was just in time to see it hop down a large rabbit hole under the hedge. In another moment, down went Alice after it. The, the rabbit hole went straight on like a tunnel for some way and then dipped suddenly down. So suddenly, the Alice had not a moment to think about stopping herself before she found herself falling down what seemed to be a very deep well. Either the well was very deep or she fell very slowly, for she had plenty of time as she went down to look about her. First, she tried to make out what she was coming to, but it was too dark to see anything. Then she looked at the sides of the well and noticed that they were filled with cupboards and bookshelves. Her and there she saw maps and pictures hung upon pegs.
Okay, stop here. Gunav, switch on your camera and start reading.
Ma'am, you said my turn.
Go there.
One sec. Migdal, beta,
Ma'am, Ma'am, you said it was my turn after your.
Ma'am, the rabbit.
What, Gunav?
Ma'am, the rabbit hole.
No. She took down a jar. The last line. That. Vedi, please put your mic off.
Okay, ma'am. She
Migdad. Let me
looked
talk to
at
Migdad
the
first.
side of
Gunav, let me talk to Migdad.
the noise and noticed that they were
Catherine, ma'am.
filled with
What is he reading?
cover and book shelves.
Ma'am, he has started on where from where.
Yeah, but it was too dark to see anything. That's where he started.
Gunav,
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
you have
ma'am.
to read from here. She took down a jar.
Oh. Ma'am, scroll down.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can I leave?
Yes, I got it.
Start. She took
She
down a
took
jar.
down a jar from one of. Ma'am, scroll down.
The shelf and she got.
The steps as she passed.
Fast.
It was labeled on Angel MARMAL melody, but to hear great.
Gunav, it is orange. Orange color. Orange marmalade.
Can I leave?
Called marmalade. Orange marmalade.
But
Continue.
to her
Great.
great disappointment.
Disappointment.
It was empty. She did not like to drop the jar, so managed to put it into on one of the cupboards as she fell past it. Down. Would the fall never come to an end? There was nothing else to do. So Alice soon began talking to herself. D-I-N-A. Dinner.
Dinah.
Yes, ma'am.
Dinah will miss me very much tonight. I should think.
I
Dinah
should
is the cat.
think. I hope they remember her source of milk at the tea time. Dinah, my dear, I wish you were down here with me. Alice
Can you please give me the
felt that she was dozing off when suddenly thumb down. She come off when upon a heap of strip and dry leaves, and the fall was over.
Okay. Gunav, stop here. Migdad, continue.
Can I leave?
Yeah, Gunav.
Bye, ma'am.
Migdad, wait and scroll.
Ma'am, after Migdad, can I?
Alice was not a bit hurt. She jumped up in a moment. She looked up, but it was dark Overhead, before her, was another long passage, and the white rabbit was still in sight. Hurrying it down, there was not a moment to be lost. And away went Alice like the wind, and just in time to hear it say as it turned around the corner, "Oh, my ears and whiskers! How late it's getting!" She was close behind it when she turned the corner, but the rabbit was no longer to be seen. She found herself in a long, low hallway which was lit up by a row of lamps hanging from the roof. There were doors all around the hall, but they were all locked. But Alice had been all the way down one side and up the other, trying every door. She walked sadly down the middle, wondering how she was to ever get out.
1 minute. Let me scroll. Yeah.
Suddenly, she came upon a little table, all made of solid glass. There was nothing on it but a tiny golden key. Alice's first idea was that this might belong to one of the doors of the hall, but alas, either the locks were too large or the key was too small. But at any rate, it would not open any of them. However, on the second time round, she came upon a low curtain she had not noticed before, and behind it was a little door about 15 inches high. She tried the little golden key in the lock, and to her delight, it fitted. Alice
Okay.
opened the door.
Stop here. Shh, stop here. Kevna, continue.
Yes, ma'am. Alice opened the door
Can I leave?
and she found that it led into a small passage, not much larger than the rat's hole. She, she knelt down and looked along the passage into the loveliest garden you have ever saw. How she was longed to get out of that dark hall and wander around among those beds and bright flowers and those cool fountains, but she could not even get her head through the doorway. Oh, Alice said, how I wish I could shut up like a telescope. I think I could, if only knew how to begin. Alice went back to the table, half hoping she might find another key on it, or an or any or at any rate, a book of rules for shutting people like telescopes. This time she Ma'am, can you yes, found a little bottle on it, which certainly was not here before. And Alice, she tied around her neck of the bottle was a paper label with words "Drink me" beautifully printed on it with large letters. No,
Okay. Stop here. Lakshya, continue.
No,
ma'am, can I leave?
ill look first. She said, and see whether it mark poison or not. For she had never for not then
Forgotten.
forgotten. Then, if you drink from the bottle, ma poison it. I am almost ma'am, what is this?
Certain.
Certain to uh,
Disagree.
disagree. You know, soon or later.
Sooner or later.
sooner or later. However, the bottle not marked poison, so Alice ventured and tasted the and field is nice. It happens so uh, sour and mixed flavor in the cherry. There's ginger, pineapple, roasters, and toffee, and hot butter toast. And very soon finish off it off. Sorry, we cruise.
What? It is
She
what? Shh. Lakshay, read it carefully. What a curious feeling.
what a curious feeling, said Alice. I must be certain
Cutting up.
shutting up like a telescope. And so it was indeed. She was now only 10 inch high, and her face brightened up the thought. If she was not the right size to go through the little door. It was a lovely garden.
Okay. Vedi, continue.
After a while, finding that nothing more happened, she decided on going into the garden at once, but as always for poor Alice, when she got to the door, she found his had had, had
Forgotten.
forgot the little golden key. The and when when she
Went back to the table
went
for
back
it.
to the table from it, she found she could not UWSIBLY. What is ma'am? Not
She found she could
not
not possibly reach it
possibly reach it. She could see it quite
plainly.
plainly. Thought the glass, and she tried her best to climb up one of the legs of the table, but it was too
Slippery.
slippery. And when she had tired herself out with trying, the poor little thing sat down and cried. Come there, no use in crying like that, said, said Alex to herself. Later,
Rather
rather
sharply.
sharply, I
Stop here, Vedi.
yeah.
Vivan Balchandani. Vivan, continue reading. Vivan, what are you sitting in the class for? Continue reading. Continue. Do you know where we are?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm
I
highlighting.
know.
I'm highlighting.
I advise you to Alice to herself rather sharply. Leave off this minute. She generally gave her herself very good advice. Thought she was seldom followed it, and sometimes she scolded herself so uh, se- severely
Severely.
as to bring tears into her eyes. Soon her eyes fell on a little glass box that was lying under the table. She opened it and found in it a very small cake on which the words "eating me" were beautiful marked in
Currants.
currants. Well, I'll eat it, said Alice, and if it makes me grow smaller, I can
Larger.
grow larger, I can reach the key, and if it makes me grow smaller, I can creep under the door. So either way, I'll get into the garden, and I don't tell which happens.
What happens? Okay, Kusha, Uja, continue. She ate a little
Yes,
bit
ma'am. She ate little bit and said anxiously,
anxiously.
anxiously to herself, which way, which way, holding her hand on the top of her head to feel she was which way she was growing, and she was quite surprised to find that she remained the same size. So she set to work and very soon finished off the cake. Curiouser and curiouser, cried Alice. She was so much surprised that for the moment she quite forgot how to speak good English. Now I am opening out like the largest telescope that ever was. Goodbye, feet. Oh, my poor little feet. I wonder who will put on your shoes on stockings for you now, dears. I shall be a great deal too far off to trouble myself about you. Just at this moment, her head struck against the roof of the hall. In fact, she was now rather more than 9 feet high, and she at once took up the little golden key and hurried off to the garden door.
Okay, stop here. Freya,
I
continue.
leave.
Poor Alice. Yeah. Poor Alice.
Poor Alice, it was as much as she could do, lying down on one side to look through into the garden with one eye, but to get through was more hopeless than ever. She sat down and began to cry again. She went on shedding gallons of tears until there was a large pool all around her and reaching half down the hall. After a time, she heard a little pattering of feet in the distance, and she hastily dried off her eyes to see what was coming. It was the white rabbit returning, splendidly dressed, with a pair of white kid gloves in one hand and a large fan in the other. He, he came trotting along in a great hurry, muttering to himself, "Oh, Duchess, the Duchess! Oh, wouldn't she be savage? I kept her waiting." When the rabbit came near her, Alice began in a low voice, timid voice, "If you please, sir." The rabbit started violently dropped the white kid gloves and the fan and scurried away into the darkness as hard as he could. Go!
Okay, stop here.
Alice took
Dhyan Chalya. Where is he? Dhyan, continue.
Yes,
Alice.
his his head as he called go Alice
Alice.
Alice Alice took up the fight and gloves
Hmm.
and has kept fi- finding
Fanning.
fanning others all the time. She went on
Talking.
talking, dear, dear, how quiet everything is today, and
Yesterday. Break the
yes,
word. Yesterday.
yesterday thing, things went on just as usually was I the same when I got up this morning, but if I am not the same the next
Question is
question A is who in the rural
world.
world am I a things the
That's the
great
great puzzle.
puzzle
Hmm.
as she should takes
Said
she
this.
said this she looked down at her hands and was separate to she had she had put on one of the rabbit's
Little white. Little white.
little white canned
Kid gloves.
kid gloves while she was
Talking.
taking in. How can I have down that she took I must be ground
Growing.
growing some
Small.
small again she would
Got up.
get up and went to the tub
Table.
Able to
Mm.
meter,
Measure.
measure, help by it, and found that she was now upright
About.
to about 2 foot head and was going on.
Dhan, when are you going to improve your reading? You're not reading anything at home. I'm sure. And if this continues, if there are no efforts from your side, then there is going to be no improvement. Let me tell you that. No improvement at all. It's already like 11th month, almost like 6 months. We are in grade 5 now. No improvement at all. You're not able to read 4-letter, 5-letter words. Leave aside the difficult words. Why? Because you're not reading at home. You're just reading what I make you read. You're not putting in your efforts at all. So your grades are not going to improve. I'm telling you right now. If you continue like this. Dhairya Shah, continue.
Yes, thinking rapidly. She soon found out that the cause of this was the pen she was holding and she dropped it hastily, just in time to save herself from shrinking away altogether. That was a narrow escape, said Alice, a good deal frightened at a sudden change, but very glad to find herself still in existence. And now for the garden. And she ran with all speed back to the little door. But Alice,
Alas.
but
But
Alice,
alas.
the little door was shut again, and the little golden key was lying on the glass table as before. Things are worse than ever, thought the poor child, for I never was so small as this before, never. As she said these words, her foot slipped, and in another moment, splash! She was she was up to her chin in salt water. Her first idea was that she had somehow fallen into the sea. However, she soon made out that she was in the pool of tears which she had wept when she was 9 feet high.
Okay. Ariman, continue quickly.
So, ma'am,
Rest
can
of you
you,
who had their turns can please leave.
ma'am, please highlight the word because I was going to take the medicine. That's
Okay.
why.
This is it. Just then she heard something. This
Just
one.
then, she heard something splashing about in the pool a little way off, and she swam near to see what was. She soon made out that it was only a mouse that had slipped in like herself. Would it be of any use now? Thought Allison. To speak to this mouse, everything is so cut off the way down. Here, here that it should think very likely it can talk at any rate. Here is no harm is trying. So she began. Oh mouse, do you know the way out of this pool? I am very tired of swimming here. Oh, mouse. The mouse looked at her rather
Inquisitively.
inquisitively and screamed to her to wink with
one of its little eye, but it said nothing. Pips, it doesn't understand English, thought Allison. I dare say it is a French mouse. Come over with Willem the con, con,
Conqueror. William the Conqueror.
conqueror. So she began again. Oh, is smart cat, which was the first sentence in the French lesson book. The mouse gave a suddenly leap out of the water and screamed to cover all over the fight. Oh, I beg your pardon, cried Allison, hastily afraid that she had hurt a poor animal's feeling. I could forgot you didn't eat cats. Not
Like
likely, cried the mouse in a shrill,
passionate.
passionate voice. Would you like cats if you were me?
Okay,
Well,
stop here.
Pepsi,
Ayush,
said
continue. Ayush, stop.
Ma'am, I joined because my iPad had charging headwind, so I don't know from where to start.
Okay,
Ma'am, can I leave?
this one. Yes, yes, yes.
Bye,
Well,
ma'am. Have a nice
perhaps
day.
not.
Okay. Well, perhaps not. Alice in a soothing tone. Don't be angry about it. And yet I wish I could show you our cat, Tina. I think you'd take a fancy to cats if you could only see her. She's such a dear. White thing. Mouse was bristling all over, and she felt certain it must be really offended. You won't talk about her anymore if you rather not. Really? Cried the mouse, who was trembling down to the end of its tail. As if I would talk on such a subject. Our family have always hated cats. Mama, listen to the first side. Nasty, low, vulgar thing. Don't let me hear the name again. I won't indeed. In a great hurry to change the subject of conversation. Are you fond of dogs? There's such a nice little dog near our house. I should like to show you. It kills all the rats. And oh dear, it kills all the rats. And oh dear, cried Alice in a sorrowful tone. I'm afraid I've offended it again. But the mouse was swimming away from her as hard as it could go, and making quite a commotion in the blessed wind. So she called softly, Mouse dear, do come back again and we won't talk about cats or the dogs either. If you don't like them. When the mouse heard this, it turned around and swam slowly back to her. Its face was quite pale, and it said in a shoulder, low, trembling voice. Let us get to the show, and then I'll tell you my history, and you'll understand why it is I hate cats and dogs.
Okay.
It was high time to go for the pool was
Ayush, stop here, beta. Anushka, continue.
Yes,
Can I
ma'am.
leave?
It was high time to go for the pool. It was getting quite crowded. The birds and animals that had fallen into it. There was a duck and a dodo, a lorry, and then eaglets, and several other curious creatures. Alice led the way, and the whole party swam to the shore.
Ma'am, can you scroll a bit up? I can't see the first line. Yes, they were indeed a queer-looking party that assembled on the bank. The birds with their draggled feathers, the animals with their fur clung close to them, and all dripping wet cross and uncomfortably. And scroll down. The first question, of course, was how to get dry again. They had a consultation about this, and after a few minutes, it seemed quite natural to Alice to find herself talking familiar with them, as if she had known them all her life. At last, the mouse, who seemed to be a person of some authority among them, called out, "Sit down, all of you, and listen to me. I'll soon make you dry enough." They all sat down at once in a large ring, with the mouse in the middle, said the mouse with an important air. "Are you all ready? This is the driest thing I know." Silence all round, if you please. William the Conqueror, whose cause
Conqueror. William the
Conqueror.
Conqueror.
William the Conqueror, whose cause was favored by the Pope was soon submitted by the English, who wanted leaders
Leaders
leaders and had been of late much
accustomed
accustomed to Saracen and conquest.
conquest.
Edwin and Morcar, the earls
Of Mercia and Northumbria.
Mercia and Northumbria.
Okay,
Ugh,
stop here, Arna.
bye, ma'am.
Sorry, stop here, Anushka. Arna, continue.
"Ugh," said the lorry with a shiver, and even Stigand and patriotic Archbishop of Canterbury found it advisable. Advisable. "Found what?" said the duck. "Found it," the mouse replied rather crossly, "of course. You know what it means. I know what it means well enough. When I find a thing," said the duck, "it's generally a frog or a worm. The question is, what did the Archbishop find?" The mouse did not notice this question, but hurriedly went on. "Found it advisable to go with Edgar Atheling to meet William and offer him the crown. How are you getting on now, my dear?" it continued, turning to Alice as it spoke. "As wet as ever," said Alice with a melancholy tone. "It doesn't seem to dry me at all." "In that case," said the dodo, solemnly rising to its feet, "I move that the meeting adjourn for the immediate adoption of energetic remedies."
Energetic remedies.
"Speak English," said the eaglet. "I don't know the meaning of half those long words. And what's more, I don't believe you do either." "What I was going to say," said the dodo in an offended tone, "it is the best thing to get us dry would be sorceress."
What is a sausage race? Said Alice.
Caucus. It's caucus race.
Caucus race, said Alice. Why, said the dodo, the best way to explain it is to do it. First, it marked out a race course in a sort of circle, and then all the party were placed along the course, here and there. There was no 1, 2, 3 and away, but they began running when they liked and left off when they liked. So it was not easy to know when the race was over. However, when they had been running half an hour or so and were quite dry again, the dodo suddenly called out, "The race is over!" And they all crowded around it, panting and asking, "But who has won?"
Okay, that's it, Arna. Thank you.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.